Stefan, after a week of traveling from Frankfurt all the way to Freiburg, which is a few hundred kilometers south of Frankfurt, we looked at interaction, at transaction, at kiosk system. So it was really the human-machine interface we focused on the past days.
Yes, and very interesting that even though the interface is really important part, it's always the connection to the backend that's really essential. And we talked to pyramids, and what we learned there is that it's also a combination from the IT, from the software, hardware, IT hardware, and also the mechanics of systems that really give you the interactivity. And also BD Rowa, is a similar case.
Well, BD Rowa, it's robotics. I mean, the robotics itself is already fascinating, and obviously behind the scene it's very digital, but it's really the combination of understanding the processes of the industry, of pharmacies in this case, and opticians, and really bringing this and connecting this one to the front office, to the customer-facing technology. It was really fascinating, yeah.
Yeah, so there is still a screen for the interaction, but the robot gives really the transactional part of it.
Absolutely. Stefan, you also went to Deutsche Bahn.
Yeah, and there it's really about the conversational interaction, but we saw that that's still a very young technology, because that's really the Champions League of interactions, because the response times have to be very, very short, typically about 150 milliseconds. So in this time, you need to understand what the person in front of the screen said. You have to get a database response to generate an answer, and then again translate that into mimics of the avatar or the robot, and provide the answer. And there we see that there's still some development to do, I think.
Yeah, we're a little bit spoiled from Siri, from Amazon Alexa and everything. At home, everything looks so smooth and fast. But once you transform this to the B&B environment, really to public spaces, it becomes much, much more difficult. Stefan, we also passed by Heidelberg, which is somewhere between Frankfurt and Freiburg, and we visited Ameria. And they also use some technology, but more the touchless one.
Yes, and touchless, there the challenge probably is that it's not the learned, really touch technology, but moving in front of a screen for many people still feels a bit strange, or they feel still a bit uncomfortable. But the more we see that technology out in the wild, it's going to be adapted and learned. But there again, it's very interesting, because they talked a lot about learning from these interactions, actually getting data from the interactions and then feeding them back into the systems like SAP or the analytics systems.
Yeah. So I think the main findings of this week was more or less there are different ways of interacting with screens. They complement each other more than that they replace each other, and that the back-end systems, the platforms are essential. It's not only getting data, but also sending data back, as we learned, with Deutsche Bahn or so. So, using edge computing in combination with cloud, and really, getting the data and combining this experience is what's really essential nowadays.